So, we've all heard the story, right? The minute Thanksgiving dinner is over, the real estate market just shuts down. The common thinking is that everything goes into hibernation until after New Year's.
But is that what really happens? Does the entire market just take a 6-week nap? We decided to stop guessing and actually look at the hard numbers to see what's what. And to get to the bottom of this, we're not just going to talk in big, vague terms. Nope. We're zooming in on a very specific time and a very specific place. Christmas week itself, from December 22nd to the 26th, in California's Antelope Valley, specifically Lancaster and Palmdale.
All right, so let's get right into it. What did the numbers from Christmas week actually look like? Okay, so while most of us were probably wrapping presents or planning holiday meals, a surprising number of homes were, well, they were in motion. The grand total, 48. Not zero, not a couple, 48 homes were actively being bought, sold, or listed.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Let's break that number down. We're talking about 23 homes that actually sold, as in keys exchanged, deal done. Then you've got another 15 that went into contract, that's pending. And on top of that, 10 brand new listings hit the market. I mean, that is some serious activity for a dead week.
And check this out, it wasn't all just crammed into one day. Look at this, 4 homes closed on the 22nd, then 8 on the 23rd. And get this, 5 homes closed on Christmas Eve. Even on the day after Christmas, 3 families were closing on their new homes. The business of real estate was absolutely still moving. And to make this a little more real for you, just take a look at this house. This place right here in Palmdale, it was one of those 5 homes that officially closed on December 24th. You know, for that family, Christmas Eve wasn't just about waiting for Santa, it was about getting the keys to their new life. Pretty amazing. Now, let's dig a little deeper, okay? What happens when we look at the activity between the 2 main cities in the area? Well, it becomes a bit of a tale of 2 cities. So if we look at those 23 homes that actually sold, there was a clear leader. Lancaster was way out in front with 14 sales. Palmdale still had a really strong showing with 8, and even Little Quartz Hill got on the board with 1. So while activity was spread out, Lancaster was definitely the hot spot for finished deals. But here's where the story takes a fun little twist. When you look at the homes that went into contract, where buyers got their offers accepted, the tables turn. Palmdale actually edged out Lancaster, with 8 homes going pending versus 7. And that's a huge sign that future sales were cooking just as much, if not more, in Palmdale that week. So what about the big day itself, Christmas Day? Well, the market did seem to take a little pause to respect the holiday. Only 1 single home was listed, and that makes total sense, right? Agents and sellers are with their families. But what this really shows is that the activity doesn't disappear, it just shifts to the days right before and right after. Okay, so we know houses were moving, but what kind of houses are we talking about here? Were these all just fixer-uppers or low-price deals? Or was the whole market in on the action? Let's take a look. And this is just awesome. On the left, you've got the most affordable home that sold that week, a place in Lancaster for $370,000. But then look at the right. The most expensive sale was this gorgeous home in Palmdale that went for $810,000. This right here proves that everybody was in the game, from first-time buyers all the way up to people looking for high-end property. And let's put some more solid numbers to that. This chart breaks down the prices for those 23 closings. You see the low and the high we just talked about. But look at this. The average sale price was over $500,000, and the median was a really strong $506,000. This clearly wasn't some bargain basement week. It was a snapshot of a healthy, fully functioning market. And that momentum, it just kept on going with the homes that went pending. Buyers were making serious offers on everything from a $225,000 property all the way up to a house listed at almost $670,000. So again, you've got serious buyers with real money out there making moves. So, after all that, what does this data really tell us? When you put it all together, it paints a very, very clear picture. This market, it never truly sleeps. So let's just recap the evidence. Homes sold every single business day of Christmas week, including Christmas Eve. The activity wasn't just at one price point, it covered the whole spectrum. And it wasn't just old business. New listings were coming up and new deals were being made. Both buyers and sellers were clearly engaged. And all of this leads to our big takeaway. The holiday real estate market is not dead. It's just different. The casual looky-loos might be out shopping, but the serious players, they are still in the game. And that's huge. If you're a seller, it means you're dealing with motivated buyers. And if you're a buyer, it can mean less competition.
And that whole idea is summed up perfectly here. Real estate doesn't stop. It simply moves quieter with more serious players. So the next time someone tells you the market is closed for December, you'll know the real story. It makes you wonder, what other real estate myths are out there just waiting to be busted?